This is the Nerf Zombie Strike SlingFire. It's a lever action, clip-fed blaster, and there's already a ton of reviews on this blaster that are out there. This won't be one of them. Part of the reason it took me so long to pick up one of these is because I've read so many mixed reviews. But I got one because the whole fact that these are fun to reload kind of pushed me over the edge. It looked like just a fun blaster to do that with. I'm talking about these and these. So I'm going to check and see what different clip sizes and magazine sizes from the N-Strike lineup, which I have all here, how they affect the performance of trick shot reload things. So obviously we're going to start off with the 6-clip. These come with a 6-clip. It works with the 6-clip. I've never seen a blaster not work well with a 6-clip. Yay. The banana style magazine clip thing from the Demolisher. Because it's curved, you don't really run into any loading issues there. Oops, I messed that up. Disclaimer, I'm not going to get all of these perfect. But yeah, doesn't seem to affect it negatively either. Pick up a few more rounds, it looks cool, blah blah blah. This is a 12 round out of the N-Strike Elite Retaliator. Again, it's working fine for both the spin around and that guy there. You pick up a few more rounds. I prefer straight mags still to the banana style because I prefer rounds over cool lookingness. This is a 18 rounder out of an old Stampede. The current 18 rounds are the same size. This is where you start to run into a little, it feels significantly different than those. And I think it's mostly because of centrifugal force when you're spinning this guy around. It's not hitting my hand though yet. You'll start to see that come into play because of how much these things start to weigh. Now none of these have darts in them. It doesn't affect the weight a ton. But you'll notice this lever has a lot of play to it. And the more weight you have coming down on it, the more that's going to give. I almost never use these style clips. This is an earlier type from a Raven. It's a glow-in-the-dark 18 round, and even though it's the same magazine size as the one I just did, it has a tumor. It has a tumor. Its battery's up here, which means it's heavier. The spin around, it almost feels maybe the most solid of them because of that. But it does start to beat you up a little bit. Not so much hitting your hand, but now because there's more weight on this end, your hand that's stuck in here starts to get a little bit affected. There's a review out there that Coop did that essentially tells you the insides of your hands are padded. The outside's not so much, so it's not used to all this extra hitting this handle out here. It feels like I've been bowling for quite a while. So there's that. The drum magazines, this is where you start to run into the biggest issues. Not with weight, but also with size. Ow. Ow. When I do this, the force of this big fat mag drum thing hits my hand, and when I do this, that's a bad way, it hits the inside of my hand on its way around. So 25 round drum, if you're using that from the Rampage from the N-Strike Elite lineup, wear some gloves or something, or just don't do trick shots. Finally, the Raider. This is from the old N-Strike lineup. 35 round drum, the biggest that they've made, and already you can tell weight distribution is off. And that's been my main complaint about this magazine since day one. And now you're really going to see why. Ow. Oops. Oh. The spin around is almost impossible to control because all your weight is on the left side. Whether you're a righty or a lefty. If you're a righty, this one's not quite so bad, and the spin around's not quite so bad, but it's still a little bit off. If you're a lefty, this drum is going to annihilate you, and I am not, and I'm not going to show you how bad I am at doing left-handed reloads. So, long story short, if you're using a SlingFire for whatever reason, and you want a larger magazine size because you don't want to have to deal with reloading this a whole lot because the reload mech is a little troublesome, don't always go for the biggest ones because those will beat the tar out of you, especially if you're into these. Anyway, I don't have to reiterate what I just said. You know what I just did. Good job. The end. Yay.